Hey, boss, the Texaco guy's at it again.
What?
Now what? It's an antifreeze wiper refill special.
1 gallon of Texaco antifreeze coolant plus 2 wiper blade refills. Only incredible. A pair of refills alone can cost up to $5.
Yeah. How can he do it?
Because I'm a good guy.
Texaco antifreeze and wiper refills at a special low price at your participating Texaco Good Guys.
Threatens to sweep the country unless Starsky and Hutch can find the international hitman who is carrying the lethal virus. And the search becomes more personal and desperate when Hutch himself comes down with the deadly disease. On Starsky and Hutch tonight at 8 on Channel 10, KWTX-TV, Waco. KWTX-TV, Waco, Region 10 Television, serving Waco, Temple, Killeen, and the great Central Texas Metroplex.
Here in Austin, Texas, the first half has just ended. Texas now leading 19-7, trying to remain #1 and undefeated. They led 13-0 at the end of the first quarter, but then Baylor came back. Let's go to New York and our colleague and friend, David Dials. Here he is.
Today, one of those classic college football confrontations, Michigan and Ohio State, and as usual, the Rose Bowl trip going to the winner. Today's Fireman's Fund flashback is brought to you by Fireman's Fund Insurance. And Fireman's Fund Insurance is brought to you by an independent agent near you. Well, it was the Buckeyes who dominated the early going. In the first period, Ohio State's kicker, Valda Yanakiewski, kicked a 29-yard field goal. The Buckeyes in front, 3-0. But Michigan came back in the second quarter. Quarterback Rick Leach finding Roosevelt Smith coming out of the Michigan backfield. It's a 22-yard completion down to the Ohio State 8-yard line. And just 3 plays later, it was Smith bucking over from the 1-yard line. That touchdown and the ensuing extra point put the Wolverines in front 7-3. It was that way at the half. Michigan took advantage of Ohio State errors in the second half. Tailback Ron Springs fumbled on this play, and the Wolverines alert linebacker Ron Simpkins recovered at the Ohio State 20. The crowd of 106,024, largest in NCAA history, watched on as 4 plays later, Leach, a southpaw from Flint, Michigan, rolled out and scored to boost the margin to Michigan 14, Ohio State 3. Yanakiewski put the Buckeyes within range of a tie by kicking a 44-yard field goal before the conclusion of the third period. Michigan twice stopped Ohio State within the Michigan 10. First, Paul Campbell thwarted on this 4th and 1 play with 7 minutes left. Then, with about 4 minutes to play, quarterback Rod Gerald fumbled, and Michigan's Eric Howard recovered to end the day for Woody Hayes and his Buckeyes. Woody Hayes, a disgruntled old warrior, will now watch his pupil, Bo Schembechler, take the Michigan team to the Rose Bowl.
You know, for years we burned in this symbol, the fire hat of Fireman's Fund. But here's an even more important symbol to burn in. It belongs to the people who sell our insurance, the independent agents. Each represents several companies, so they work for you to get the best policy and price. Naturally, we hope your agent picks Fireman's Fund. But make sure you pick an agent with this sign, and you won't get burned. In the yellow pages, Fireman's Fund Insurance Companies.
And in their traditional green and gold, thank you very much, David Dials. This is the Golden Wave Band of Baylor University. They've got some honeys out front. It's a band of 200 members, and they're working on W.C. Handy's famous tune, St. Louis Blues. So let's listen. Yes, here in the city of all kinds of music, whether it be one of our favorites, Willie Nelson, or Ronnie Millsap, whatever. This is the Baylor Band, and they're versatile. Whether it's pop, rock, country and western, blues, they do it. It's a band directed by Dick Floyd. Drum majors are the men that control it on the field, and they're Don Richardson from Irving, Mark Shelton of Arlington, And they have featured twirlers and golden girls as well. The featured twirlers are Elaine Richardson and Carmen Bacon. Acres of Cotton is a tribute to their head coach, Freddie Akers. And of course, Cotton means going to Dallas and playing in the Cotton Bowl again, they hope. Going into a wheel-like formation, the Golden Wave Band getting ready for a stirring exhibition of rhythm on the march.
We vote this band number one. Golden Wave Band, version number strong. Change pace with our special concert version of Take the Clouds Away.
Well, what you saw is now the final score of Michigan State over Iowa 22-16. The percussion unit going on that rhythm number, and now the Golden Wave Band of Baylor Chase the Clouds Away, a concert version. Arizona 27, Texas of El Paso 3 in the third quarter. Washington 28, Washington State nothing. Two featured twirlers. That's Elaine Richardson, the one you saw just a few moments ago, and that beautiful green light right there is Carmen Baker. Is our director a Texan? Really knows how to zero in on the pretty girls. A band from Waco, Texas, representing Baylor University, and all the students, alumni can be very, very proud of the band, the featured twirlers, the drum majors, and they're here in Austin, Texas. And at halftime, Texas leading 19-7. But they're having a close run for the beauty of the ladies that represent them. You'll see the Texas ladies following, because this is the final performance here now of the Baylor University Band. All right, hats off to the Golden Wave Band, directed by Dick Floyd, his assistant Andy Russell, graduate assistants Mike Haithcote and Larry White. Let's learn more about Baylor University.
Golden Wave Marching Band is under direction of
Baylor University today is the largest Baptist institution of higher education in the world. The 300-acre main campus in Waco, Texas has over 40 buildings. Baylor also operates the Baylor Medical Center in Dallas and is affiliated with the Academy of Health Sciences in San Antonio. Students from all 50 states and many foreign countries are enrolled in Baylor's 35-degree programs, offering more than 50 major areas of study. Baylor's academic system is comprised of the College of Arts and Sciences and the schools of business, education, law, music, nursing, as well as the graduate school. Several special programs, such as the Church and State Studies, enhance Baylor's academic system. The Institute of Environmental Studies is currently involved in solar energy and air pollution research. The Armstrong Browning Library contains the world's largest collection of original manuscripts and materials related to English poets Robert and Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Academic excellence has been a tradition at Baylor University since 1845, offering an education for living and making a living.
So we're back again in Austin, Texas, and it's always great to visit here. The University of Texas campus in a city that's growing, and you see the mighty bend in the Colorado River there at mid-screen, and that's where the city is situated. And this is the Special Events Center. They call it the Super Drums. It's a magnificent facility just being completed. The basketball will be played there, concerts, all sorts of convocations, whether it be operatic, whether it be rock, whether it be jazz or country and western. It's quite a facility, and so is their football stadium. And so is their 300-member University of Texas marching band, directed by Tom Rhodes. And here it is. Right now, as we see the Goodyear blimp, the music is grandioso. And there is Big Bertha, 8 feet diameter, presented to the Longhorn Band in 1955 by General Harold Byrd. On that cart, that four-wheel cart, it stands 10 feet tall, handled by the Drum Wranglers. And they do things big in Texas, believe me, and the band is just another example. A script version, a little different than that of Ohio State. This one, of course, spells out Texas. That's another big difference. Michigan today defeating Ohio State 14-6. They'll be going to the Rose Bowl. Right now, it's the Texas band. And of course, you know this tune. Listen to those University of Texas fans. And applauding here in our booth is the king of the blues, B.B. King. He's appearing here and loving every minute of it. Hats off to both bands. 19-7 is the score. The Baylor, Texas game is being brought to you by Goodyear, the makers of Tiempo steel-belted radials, a new kind of tire for every kind of weather. Keep it on season after season. By the makers of Skoal, Copenhagen, and Happy Days, the smokeless tobaccos, and by Fram, makers of oil, air, and fuel filters, windshield wipers, and auto-like spark plugs, and tune-up kits. 19-7 is the halftime score. A lot of football still coming up. The nation's #1 team, Texas against Baylor.
This is an electronic typewriter, the Xerox 850 display typing system. Push a button, and a full page of text appears on a screen. You can correct spelling, rearrange paragraphs, even change margins instantly. Then it automatically types out on paper, letter perfect. If your business deals with thousands of words each day, remember this one.
10 years ago, no one knew me. I was part of the famous no-name defense. Then we built our reputation by being fast. Now, I don't want to lose that. I drink light beer from Miller because it doesn't fill me up, has a third less calories than a regular beer, and it tastes great. Now, everyone knows me.
Hey, I know you. You're,
Nick Bonacani.
No, that's not it.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
You know what's really nice about working hard all day? Just sitting around later on, relaxing and enjoying tobacco. And just like me and some other guys, the way I enjoy tobacco is without lighting up. Because I use smokeless tobacco. My favorite brand is Skull with the wintergreen taste. And you fellas that are just starting out might like to try Mild Happy Days. You just take a pinch and put it between your cheek and gum, sit back, and relax.
Hi, I'm David Hartman, host of Good Morning America. All over our country, millions of students are participating in high school activities. Basketball, music, track and field events, drama, and many more. These programs are so important in developing healthy, well-rounded young people, in teaching them how to use their creative potential, how to work with others, how to deal with failure and success, skills that naturally complement classroom education. But right now, there's a shortage of money. These programs are so necessary for the education of almost half our high school students, and yet they cost less than 1% of our total education budget. High school activities are an important part of education, and they're a tremendous bargain. Let's keep them alive and healthy in America's high schools.
It's about 4:45 p.m. in Austin, Texas. Halftime score, the Longhorns #1 in the country, leading Baylor 19-7. In the fourth quarter, Texas A&M leading TCU 45-23 in an offensive thriller. And here in the fourth quarter, Colorado shutting out Kansas State. Frank Broyles 17-0.
Last week's loss to Oklahoma. They've had a lot of injuries.
At the moment on the field, the Longhorn Hall of Fame, they installed at a dinner that Frank and I attended last night, Bobby Lackey, a quarterback, and Darrell Royals, first three teams here, Randy Clay, an All-American back in the 40s, Hugh Wolf, won 5 letters in football and track in the 30s, Wally Pryor, whose voice you hear in the background, and Barry Whitaker, great Southwest Conference coach. There's Wally Pryor. You're not hearing his voice. He has a substitute at halftime, but I'll tell you, if you come to Texas, that's right. His brother's name is Cactus Pryor. All right, we'll be back in a little bit.
Next week, ABC Sports presents a tremendous Thanksgiving weekend of NCAA college football action beginning Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, when the #7 Razorbacks of Arkansas take on the Red Raiders of Texas Tech in a classic Southwest Conference showdown. Then Friday afternoon, the second-ranked Oklahoma Sooners battle their arch-rival Nebraska to determine the Big 8 representative in the Orange Bowl. Friday night, UCLA meets USC in a must-win game for the Bruins, who need a victory to earn a trip to the Rose Bowl for the second time in 3 years. Then Saturday, another great doubleheader, beginning with #8 Penn State against #9 Pittsburgh to determine the top team in the East, followed by all the color and excitement of the Army-Navy game live from John F. Kennedy Stadium in Philadelphia. A great lineup of NCAA college football action next weekend on ABC.
As the ceremony continues at halftime, installing 5 members in the Longhorn Hall of Fame, now getting a standing ovation, Frank Broyles. These are the first half statistics.
Actually, Chris, Texas is not too much forward of Baylor, but they have. Chris, last year, I knew we didn't have a chance playing Texas. We looked over while they were playing, the eyes of Texas officials had joined in the singing.
great song by the Texas band, written in 1903 by Johnny Lang Sinclair.
Now, halftime statistics, a rundown. Texas a little bit ahead, but the ball game has been played in mostly Baylor territory, and their turnovers have given Texas 2 of their touchdowns. They've capitalized on mistakes by Baylor. 194 total yards to 140, 4 turnovers to 1.
Earl Campbell, their Heisman Trophy candidate, gained 71 yards in the first quarter, 63 yards in the second, 1 touchdown. Baylor averaging 225 yards per game rushing. Today, only 54, as Frank told you. And Texas averaging 127 yards passing per game. Today, have only 4 yards, but they have the margin on the scoreboard. And that's what counts, 19-7.
Of course, Mac Eatron had gotten most of those passing. He hasn't played the one play today, and Fred Akers is holding him out until hopefully the Texas A&M ball game. If they don't need him in this second half, we're not likely to see him.
And now the 4 captains of the Texas Longhorns have been out on the field. We want to name them: George James, Earl Campbell, Brad Scheer, number 77, that great lineman whom you saw so often in the first half, is definitely a candidate for the Outland Trophy.
We feel like he's one of the best tackles we've had in our conference in a long time.
And Morgan Copeland is the 4th Texas Longhorn quarterback. While for Baylor, it's Gary Blair, Tommy Davidson, Ron Burns, and Gary Hutchinson. And that sign tells it all as far as Texas fans are concerned, as far as the polls are concerned, whether it be the coaches, UPI, or AP. #1, and there is the capital of a huge state.